Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Juliet. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. Please consider subscribing. So this is the part 2 of the video on how to make this notched collar crop top. So I have drafted the pattern in an earlier video. I will link it down in the description box below. So here I cut the pattern on the fabric. This is the collar piece. It is drafted, it is cut on fold. So this is the other part. The part that was on the shoulder is the part that is on fold, as you can see. So I cut two pieces for the collar and then 2 pieces also for the front, as you saw earlier. So here's the back. The back piece is cut on fold as well. So this is the back piece. So next I'm going to cut out the facing. So the top is going to have a facing on both the front and the back piece actually. So from that line I'm going to mark 4 inches in, and then on the shoulder I'm going to mark the middle. So the shoulder there is 5, half of that, the middle of that is 2.5. So I'm going to connect both points together. And then I will cut out, that is the facing for the front. So I'm going to place that on the fabric and cut out 2 pieces. So this is it for the front facing. We're going to cut a facing for the back as well. So for the back, here is the back piece. From that neckline I mark 3 inches down, and then on the shoulder again I mark 2.5, which is the midpoint, and then I'm going to connect like so and then cut out. So I place the facing on the fabric to cut as well. I cut it on fold. I've also ironed fabric interfacing on the front facing. So next I'm going to place them together. That's the shoulder side, right sides together, and then we are going to go sew. Then for the main piece, we're going to go join them two on the shoulder. So I'm placing them right sides together, front and back. Then we're going to go sew the shoulders using 1/2 inch. The same for the facing. So after sewing, this is what we have. This is the facing piece. We join the shoulders, and then this is the main piece. So next I'm going to join the collar piece, one collar piece to the main piece, and then another collar piece to the facing. So placing my pattern on it, I'm going to mark the midpoint. That is the side that is going to be on the neckline. So I'm going to notch it, and then I will fold the neckline of the back into 2 and then notch the midpoint as well. So next, matching the midpoints, we're going to sew all the way till we get to that point, and then I'll do the same thing all the way to this other side as well. So you can see that this collar piece has no interfacing on it, so that is where the sewing is going to stop. Then the collar for the facing piece has an interfacing, but first we're going to go fold once the other side of the facing piece, that's the inner side. So I'm notching the midpoint too, and then I will also notch the midpoint of the collar. So the collar piece here has interfacing ironed on it. and we're going to go join it the same way we will do the main piece. So here is it. I have joined the collar to the main piece. This is what it's looking like, and then this is the facing piece. Next, we're going to place the facing right sides together. As you can see, I've hemmed the other side of the facing as well. So we're going to place the right side of the facing to the right side of the main fabric and then go sew all around like that down to this other side. So after sewing, this is what we have. This is what it's looking like. So you can actually sew and then leave a small space at that notched corner and then finish it by hand. Is a lot easier because it was quite a hassle for me. So I'm notching the corners and then cutting off those corners. So that's it. You can sew and leave about ½ inch there and then finish it by hand. Here is it. I have turned it to the right side and I have ironed, and this is what it's looking like so far. So next we are going to, I will take my this thing to the machine. I'll take this piece now and then sew the seam allowances on the necklines. This is the wrong side, so I'll just hold only the seam allowances together and sew them so that it sits in place and it doesn't keep moving. So I'm using my pins now to hold that place, and we'll go and sew them together. So next I'm joining the sides. So we added extra 3 inches to the measurement when drafting. So I'm going to be marking 1 inch for the seam allowance. I'll just hold 1 inch on this side and then 1 inch on the other side as well. So I've marked it. I'll go sew on it like that. So on this side too, I'm going to mark the same 1 inch or 1.5. And then I'll go sew that down. And I'll also sew the neckline, as you can see. See, it's coming out already. So after sewing, I've gone ahead to use hemming gum to glue down the facing to the main piece, and this is what the top is looking like so far. So next I'm going to measure to the 11 inches that I used for the break point, but I extended it to 12 inches, so that is where the button is going to sit. So I'm using my pin to pin that down for now. Next I'm going to pin the down part as well, making sure what is overlapping is about 1 inch, which is what we left for the button allowance. We left 1.5, so after turning it with the facing, it's now 1 inch left. So next from the down part, I'm marking 2 inches upwards. Remember I said I added 2 inches for the casing for elastic. So I'm marking 2 inches up. I will mark the 2 inches all around like that. So next I'm going to go fold it in like so on that line, and then tuck in the raw edges like this, and then I will sew that all around, leaving about 1 inch of space for elastic to pass through later. So I'll leave about 1 inch space like so, and then sew the rest of it close. After that, this is what we have, and here's the space. Next, I'm going to put in the elastic. I'm using, this is a 1 inch elastic. I'm going to pass it through that space. I just used the waist measurement I'm working with, that's the half length round I'm working with, and I removed about 5 inches from the total measurement. So this is it. After passing it around, we're going to go join the elastic. Join the elastic together first and then close that space. So we'll join the elastic, sew it tightly, and then close the 1 inch space that we left. So next we're going to be cutting out the sleeves. Here I am measuring the round armhole. I'm going to measure all around this armhole like so. I got 8 inches. So my fabric here on fold is going to be 8 inches plus another 2, making it 10 inches all in all. So on this open end, I am coming down by 4 inches, and then I will make a curve like so. After which I will measure around the curve until I get to 8 inches plus 2, which is 10. Then I marked. Then on the down part, the round sleeve, I marked 5 inches plus 2 inches of allowance, making it 7. So from that down part, I will connect to the upper part like so. So the sleeve from the picture, you will see that it's way longer than the actual, the sleeve is oversized. So I have my sleeve length here too is more than what I would normally use. So I'm still going to add a cuff, which is going to be about 5 inches long. So it's going to be really long. It's going to cover the entire, like just the tip of the fingers are going to be showing. So after marking, after cutting out, I'm placing the sleeve pieces right side together, as you can see. So I've placed them right sides together, as you can see. So from the middle point, I'm going to mark 2 inches in from the side. That is the same allowance that we added. And then in between that space, I'll mark the middle. So the middle of 5, which is 2.5. So I'm making a mark there like so. That is where the opening for the placket is going to be. So I'm going to notch it, fold the two together like this, and then notch for now, so that we'll know that's the space. And then here is the piece I'm using for the placket. Is 6 inches wide and then 7 inches long. So I'm marking 3.5 inches like so, and then I will mark 5 inches up like so, and then I'm marking ½ inch, as you can see. So what is left on this other side is about 1.5. So inside that ½ inch, we are going to mark the middle, which is the quarter, all the way to about 4.5 inches. Then we'll make like a Y shape, which we'll be using later on. So that middle line, we are going to place it on the sleeve. We're going to place the right side of that placket piece on the wrong side of the sleeve. So that middle line is going to sit exactly on that notch that we made. So I'm pinning it together now. I will take it to the machine and go sew around that rectangle like so. Remember, right side sitting on the wrong side of the sleeve. So I'm going to do the same thing for this second sleeve. So I'm placing the piece like so. Remember, the side that is wider, the side that is 3 inches, is on the side that is on the sleeve side that is wider as well. So I'm marking the same thing, 5 inches up and then ½ inch, and then the middle of that half inch again. So the remaining side is 1.5. The placket side that is smaller is on the sleeve side that is smaller as well. Remember, right side of the placket piece on the wrong side of the sleeve piece. Small side to small side, wide side to wide side. So after sewing, I'm going to cut open following that middle line and then this tiny Y shape at the top. After which I will turn it to the right side and then iron. So after ironing them flat, I'm going to fold this place in. I'm going to fold it twice, like so. So I'm folding, I'm covering the raw edges, and then I will use the iron to make it flat. Then on this other side that is wider, I'm going to fold over to cover the downside. Fold it over to the point that the downside is completely covered, and then I will iron. After that, I will fold in the raw edges, making sure they are still covering the raw edges on the down part, and then I will use my iron to make it flat. Next, I'm going to trim off some of those that piece under there, trim off part of it so it doesn't get too bulky when I get to sewing. Then I will fold a triangle shape at this top, like so, and iron one more time. So next up, I will take the sleeve to the machine now, and then I will first of all sew this down part. I'll sew it down straight like so. Then I will sew on this other side as well, all the way up, following that triangle like that, and then I will stop at this point and sew across. So after sewing, this is what we have. Whatever we do here, we're going to do it for the second sleeve. This is the wrong side. So just repeat the same thing for the second sleeve, but these plackets are going to be on opposite sides. So next I'm making a pleat, just a tiny pleat on this wider side. I just make a tiny pleat. Then I will fold my sleeve into two and take my measurement. So on this armhole part, remember we measured the armhole and it was 8 inches. So we're going to measure to 8 inches and then mark. And then on the sleeve round, I'm working with 4.5. So I'm going to mark exactly 4.5. And then I will connect. I will take this now to the machine and sew all the way up. I'll repeat the same for the second sleeve. So after joining the sleeves together, next we are going to work on the cuffs. So I have my fabric here. I ironed interfacing on it. So next I'm measuring all around the sleeve like so, and what I have here is about 10 inches. So my cuff is about 14 inches wide and then 12 inches well, 14 by 12. So I'm going to fold the actual cuff is going to be 5 inches at the end of the day, so into 2, that will be 10 plus extra allowance to fold in. So that 12 now, when we fold into 2, we are going to have 6, so we'll fold in another half inch on both sides, which is going to leave us with exactly the 5 inches we are looking for. So using my iron, I'm going to fold it flat so that by the time we get to sewing, it's going to be a lot easier. So I fold half inch in on both ends and then fold again into half, which is going to leave us with 5 inches wide, as you can see. So I'm going to, yeah, I did the same thing for the other sleeve. So next we're going to mark the round sleeve. That's the part we measured on that sleeve, which was 10 inches. So using my chalk, I made a mark on one side like so, just a random mark about half inch in, and then from that line I will mark the 10 inches that I need. After which I will take it to the machine and sew on both lines, and then I will turn it inside, turn it to the right side and iron smoothly. So after sewing the cuffs, this is what they are looking like so far. So next I'm going to attach them to the sleeve. As you can see, the pleat I made is still in place. So I'm going to just put it in between like so, and then I will go and sew it down. And this is what we have. This is what the final piece is looking. So you can actually make this sleeve your actual length. It doesn't have to be oversized like the picture I'm trying to recreate. So next I'm going to attach the sleeve to the bodice, and the part with the placket has to be towards the back. So you make sure it's facing the back, and then the plain side is facing the front. Your placket should not be in front. Make sure of that. So I'm matching the side seam of the sleeve to the side seam of the top, and then the midpoint of the sleeve to the shoulder point. Right sides together. I'm using my pins to hold them in place, and then I'll take it to the machine and sew all around. I'll repeat the same thing for the second sleeve, and this is the final look. It's looking so beautiful and clean. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you in my next video. Please like, share, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye.